Hello and welcome to another Mid-Sussex Wargamers YouTube channel video. This is a build me an army worthy of, and it is the Survivors of Lake Town, which I did film a few weeks ago with the intention of uploading before my Canterbury tournament review, so you can see the army I took. However, that video was corrupted and then lost, and then I just went all wrong. So a few weeks later I thought I'd do it again, but as part of a mini-series of all the armies I took in 2019, because without sounding big-headed or boasting or whatever, 2019 was quite a good year for me tournament placing wise. So I went to 7 tournaments this year. One of them I came 4th at, 3 of them I came 2nd at, and 3 of them I came 1st at and won. So my list building this year has improved, so I thought I'd share with you how that went. So out of the seven tournaments, I only took 3 armies, or yeah, three armies, but they had variations of for the 7 tournaments. So I thought I'd start with the Survivors of Lake Town, which, as you have seen my Canterbury tournament review. If not, I'll pop it in a little bubble down the bottom here at the end for you to go check out. And that one was 600 points. I also took these 3-4 more times. I think I took Lake Town 5 times altogether. Twice at 600 points, 3 times at 500 points. So I'll run through my 500 point general build now, so you know what that basic setup is, and then what I added in for the 600 point tournaments. So as a basic starting point, obviously I take Bard the Bowman. He is always first in there for so many reasons. A, hero of legend, so he can lead 18, and as we'll get on to, the troop type is cheap, and I say troop type as there is only one. He, like I say, hero legend, so he lead 18. He's quite expensive for a fight 5 defense 5 hero. However, that's not where his abilities lie. He does have 3/3/3 in terms of his attacks, wounds, might, will and fate, which is good. He comes automatically with a great bow, which is a mobile crossbow, so he can obviously still move and shoot with it. It's strength 4, 24-inch range, and he has a watered down version of Legolas's deadly shot rule. It's called rapid fire, so he can shoot if he hits, he can shoot again at another target within 3 inches, and if he hits with that one he can shoot again to a maximum of 3, which with a strength 4 bow is absolutely deadly. So that's already really good. He comes as, he comes as defense 4 standard, so you do have to buy him armor, and obviously the horse as well, so that takes him up to halfway to 300 points, should we say, or over halfway, which is a lot, like I say, for a fight 5 defense 5 hero, but it's everything else that he buffs. So when you take his 2 daughters here as well, Sigrid there, the elder daughter, and Tilda, the youngest, they really help him out, and they're essentially, I treat them as a war gear extension, so I think they're absolutely necessary to this army working, because the more Bard does and the more he has around him to help him, the better as a whole it works as a cohesive unit. So if he is within 6 inches of one of his daughters, he gets +1 to his fight value, so there we go, he's straight up to his fight 6, which is what you'd want from your leader, really. If he's within 6 inches of both of them, he gets his +1 fight value, fight 6, and also gets to call a free heroic combat every turn, which is great. So now not only is he a really strong shooting hero with a strength 4 bow with might attached to it as well, which if you've seen in my previous build me an army worthy of videos, including like the twins and stuff, I always give them bows, because might attached to a strong bow is really powerful for things like to the death or any other one where you get leader VPs, because then you can just chip off a couple of wounds, but spend the might on it, do it, and they're already chasing the game. And if you've got an army that has better shooting than them as well, excellent. And So with the daughters, he is then also really powerful in combat. So he's pretty standard with his strength 4, but he is on his horse. But the free heroic combat, meaning he doesn't have to spend his might on that stuff, is great. I should also point out his heroic ability. He's got heroic accuracy, which is good. He's got heroic strike, resolve, and one more, which I've never used, so I don't think it's important. I haven't got the book next to me right now. But strike is the one that I've only ever really used with him, to be honest. And that's quite rare because most people try and avoid him because he's an absolute powerhouse. And you can quite easily get him, keep him safe because there are so many models, as you can see in front of you. Because this is about 500 points minus these 3 models on the end here. That is all about 500 points. So that's quite scary. The next Wargate extension, as it were, I'd take with Bard is Alfred Lickspittle. This is the Warhammer World exclusive model. And he... oh, it actually focused there. That was exciting. Ooh. This never happens. There we are. He is very cheap. He's an independent hero, so as are the girls, I should say, so they can go in another hero's warband, which you would definitely do because they are weak by themselves. Alfred, he essentially all he does is, before priority is rolled, which I usually forget, if he's within 6 inches of another lake down hero, he can spend one of his 3-will, or up to one of his 3-will, 1 to 3. On a 2 to 6, he gives that hero a might point, and on a 1, he takes the might point and he gains 1. So, it's not the end of the world if he rolls a 1, because you've still got that might. It's just transferred to a different hero, so then you just sit him in the back and use him for heroic moves. But on the 2 to 6, I have never not given it to Bard and just done it right at the start of the game and tried to get him up to 6 might. Because if you've got 6 might sitting on a strength 4 great bow, oh my god, that is damn powerful. The amount of heroes that I've killed within the first couple of turns, and spending, even if you spend 3 might on it, so what, you're still on your basic 3 of what you would have started with anyway. Yeah, just spend that 3 might trying to kill that hero, or more even. I have had games where it was at the London Bad Moon tournament at the start of the year in February. This was my first tournament win. It was in the last game of Fog of War, and I was up against a nasty Angmar army that had the Witch King, Shade, Barrow White, all the spirit stuff, and then loads and loads of orcs. And my objective in Fog of War, the thing I had to kill, was the Barrow White, that was behind 3 or 4 lines of orcs. So I called Heroic Accuracy with Percy down here, who I'll come to in a minute. Shot through with all the dudes, see if I could pick anything off. They killed orcs along the way, but anything that did hit the Barrow White they didn't wound. But Bard, however, he shot, got through with the rerolls, hit the Barrow White, rolled a 3 to wound, so I spent 3 might on it, because you get the VPs for the wound anyway. He got to shoot again because it was rapid fire. I think he hit an orc this time and probably killed it because it's strength 4. And the last shot, he shot, got through, hit the Barrow White, and he rolled a 3 again. So I used another 3 might on it and killed the Barrow White, and that was me with a 3-0 lead. And one of his, because it's one of his most dangerous heroes that could just absolutely ruin Bard, which, as I'll come on to, will ruin the entire army, and also that puts me in a good advantage, which I don't think he could, based on our armies and what he had left, don't think he could salvage or come back from. So 7 might essentially with the heroic accuracy and the 6 from Bard to take out 1 hero, and it was worth it. That won me the game. That was the last game in the tournament, and I won the tournament because of it. So yeah, don't be afraid to spend Bard's might everywhere and anywhere, because obviously he still has his free heroic combat stuff as well. So if you do get in a bit of danger, or you think he's going to get heroic combated on himself or trapped or whatever, you can use that to slingshot himself away from stuff. So he's still essentially got a might in there as well, which you can use to your advantage, even if you are restricted to the ability. Anyway, that's enough on Bard. That's what Bard does. He is insanely good. He is very powerful. One of his other children that I don't always take nowadays, but he's an option there, is Bane. So, let's see if it'll focus again like it did before. There we go. So Bane, again is cheap. He is a minor hero, so he can lead a few people, which is quite handy. I believe he's minor hero. And he is fight 3 base, strength 3, defense 4, 1 attack, 2 wounds, 1 might, 1 will and 2 fate. I believe that's right. His 1 might is kind of handy. He benefits from, oh, I forgot, Bard's probably his most important rule for the army. There we are. He is anyone within 6 inches of Bard. So that is all the troops. That includes Bane, Hilda, and Percy. Get +1 fight value, which is good. And they also count as being range of a banner. That's awesome. And if it is a pure army or green alliance, that is extended to 12 inches. So that is basically the entire battlefield. I've very rarely had anything outside of the 12 inches of a Bard, or if they are, then they're not important to the fighting line. So that is a key point that I missed out there. So that brings you back nicely to Bane, who's fight 3 base. He then gets +1 fight value for being in range of Bards. That takes him to fight 4, and he also benefits from the same special rule that Bard does with the daughters. So if he's within 6 inches of one of his sisters, gets another +1 fight value, fight 5. If you're within 6 inches of both, fight 5, and a free heroic combat, which is, he is just a pain in the bottom for elves, because he comes fight 5, can heroic combat off of them, just goes into captains and he outfight values them. He's just a pain for your opponent. However, he does still only get 1 dice, reroll on a banner, put a spear on him as well if you want, but that's, given his points, he's just shy of 50 points, so I prefer to have pretty much another, what is that, 8 dudes? Yeah, I'd rather get the numbers, because then, like I say, like I mentioned briefly at the start, the more that's around Bard, the better it is, and the more powerful as a unit is. So the more he's affecting with that 12 inches, the better it is. So I'd rather take the extra dudes. But if it's a very, very, very low points or whatever, he is really handy and irritating. On to another hero who I've only recently come to really learn how to use her. So I've taken her to every tournament bar 1 this year, and it's the first one I didn't take her to, and that's the one I came 4th at, I think. And I think she may be the reason. So, the Lake Town Militia are the only troop type that you get in this army, and they are a lowish defence. They're defence 4, 5 of the shield, but they're all only strength 3. So if you come up against something that's strength 4 and defence 6, then you're in a spot of bother. They're doing everything better than you, essentially. And if they have the fight value bonus as well, because these are all fight 2 base, but fight 3 within range of Bard, so they're basically going to be fight 3. But if you're fighting fight 4 elite stuff, then you're just not going to crack through, and your only way through is Bard. Hilda and Percy are quite weak heroes. It's their special rules that help. So Hilda is fight 3. She is strength 3, defense 3. I want to say, I should really get the book out. I just don't know where it is at the moment. Only 1 attack. She is 2 wounds, might 1, will 1, and fate 1. I know that for a fact. And she has a really cool special rule where if she charges, she gets +1 to wound, and everyone within 3 inches of her, except for the heroes, so the Lake Town Militia, and the captains, I think, everyone that charges within 3 inches of her as well, also gets +1 to wound, which is really powerful, which really helped me in the Canterbury tournament, because charging defense 6 Morannons, or strength 3 against defense 6, normally needs 6s, but +1 to wound, 5s. Brilliant, getting through that defensive armor. But if you combine that with all the axe wielding dudes here, which there are plenty that just come in the box as standard, I'd put all the axe wielding militia into Hilda's warband, so if they piercing strike as well, that'll take them up an extra strength, so strength 4 on defense 6, it's 5s, plus 1 to wound, 4s. You suddenly come from 6s to 4s immediately just because you get a charge off, and that is brilliant. And the same goes for against lower defense stuff as well, which is nice. So if you're against defense 4 stuff, that suddenly becomes 3s, so that's really powerful, which helped me against a whole load of hobbits in the last Canterbury tournament, which you'll see in the review if you click on below. Yeah, so she is really powerful. She gets you through that tough stuff to crack. She's helpful for getting through defense 7 as well, although piercing strike won't help. Plus 1 to wound definitely will. So I won a couple of tournaments again at the London and Bad Moon, where she got through some defense 7 Fountain Court Guard just with her in her little warband. She is a hero of fortitude, so she can lead 12, which is really nice, and she is really, really cheap. I think she's Ranger of the North cheap. So yeah, that is Hilda. I would always include her. She is a really handy tool to have around. And then the final hero is Percy. Is it going to focus? Yeah. So Percy is the gatekeeper in the film. He doesn't have a massive role, but he fires a bow once, so he has a 3 up shoot value. His fight 3, 3 plus shoot value, strength 3, defense 4, 2 attacks, 2 wounds, and then 3 might, 1 will, and 1 fate. He benefits from Bard, so he can go up to fight 4, which is really nice. So he's now your captain, named captain. And his special rule is everyone within 6 inches of him, barring the heroes, so the militia, reroll 1s when shooting. So I put him in with 12 archers and just have him in the middle, 6 either side, and just roll his dice with the other 12, 13 dice, all rerolling 1s. You'll be amazed how many rerolls you actually get. It is huge, and having a big cluster of archers that you can use to control your enemy's positioning has won me a multitude of games. So again at the Canterbury tournament, it was the last game, Fog of War again, against CJ, where I was able to position him kind of how I wanted to. So because it's the weakest part of the army as well, it's all defense 4s, no shields in there. I usually keep Bard away from them as well. The opposite side of the battle line, sort of kind of like this set up, so Bard over one side, Percy over the other. Got your 2 lines of 6 and Percy in the middle as well, shooting one side. Potentially it'll either push them towards Bard and the other dudes, or towards the archers, and the archers can just back off, keep shooting, and it's really powerful. Just having a special rule attached to it worries opponents as well, even if it isn't amazing all the time. The fact that it's always in their mind, like, oh, they get rerolls, and you will be rerolling on average 2 every time. No, 1 every time. Yeah, that extra reroll is 1. Rubbish at math. But yeah, I get a lot of rerolls. I roll a lot of 1s, and then usually hit the second time round for some reason. I don't know, that's just luck or my chance, but obviously the more archers you put around Percy, the better the rule is. Same with Bard's banner thing, my theory before of not taking Bane. The more archers you stick around him and utilise that rule, that's the key really with this army, is maximising the use out of the rule. So Bard, take as many people as possible, his banner will help more, his fight value will help more, Percy, his re-rolling to hit more, Hilda, more people that are charging and getting plus 1 to win. Just utilise the special rules, is essentially it. So that takes me into the troops and what I'd usually take. So I'd usually take 12 archers with Percy, like I say. If I've got this point spare, I'll give them spears. I'm rubbish at converting or anything, don't have any spare spears. So I got some 100mm javelins and cut them down, and they actually look pretty damn cool. Some of them don't look as cool as that, but it does the job, and then you can just sort of take on and put on as and where you need the points. I've gone for 2 warbands of Lake Town Militia and 1 of Lake Town Guard, just to, because in the designer's notes said you can use the Lake Town Guard as militia. It just makes the models look more varied. So I've just attached any shield that I could find to the Lake Town Guard on there. My standard build for 500 points is, if that'll focus, well, that doesn't look very good, is as follows: 9 shield, 9 spear, 10 shield. No, I've got this all wrong now. 10 shield, 13 with spear, 1 without any extra war gear, just because of the points, and then 12 archers with spear as well. It's potentially 12 archers and then 10 of which have spear. So the points are fine-tuned, you know, it's good because you can just drop 1 or 2 points here just to make it fit for what you need. So that is the basic 500 points, and I'll split evenly. I'll give like 7 shield, 7 spear to Bard, and then give him Alfred and the girls, and that'll be his warband. Hilda usually leads about 8, 4 with shield and 4 with spear. That works out about right. And then there'll be a couple of extra dudes lurking around to put him where you want, but definitely give Hilda all the axe-wielding dudes. So that's the 500 points basic of what I'd take. That won me the London Bad Moon tournament in February at 500 points. It also got me, really testing my memory now. It won me the Eastbourne tournament just gone, which I'll do a review of, spoilers. So yeah, and it got me 4th at Woking at the start of the year, when I didn't have Hilda, and that's why I think she might have been more valuable to the army than others might realise. So that's the 3 tournaments I took with them, so it's 4th, 1st and 1st. Pretty good, I think. So then, 600 points. The first one I went to was Havant in Maytime, and I took in, dropping a couple of points here and there. I think I just dropped the 5-point dude to make it 495, and then added in Legolas on horse. And he pretty much, he was good. I came second. He was good because I then had those 2 big archer hero threats with, like I said before, Might on a Bow is great. I think it was too many eggs in one basket. I became very shooting heavy. It's a Green Alliance because he's from Halls of Thranduil. He does have that combat ability as well, but he's quite weak defensively. So everyone knows what Legolas does. He's alright, but I don't think he has exactly what this army needs. But it was good fun having Legolas and Bard together. Legolas is always fun to use, but Legolas can let you down sometimes because he's not the most reliable. But when he works, boy, is he powerful. But the one hero that was more powerful was, as you'll have seen in my Canterbury review, was Bilbo Baggins, Master Burglar. And he was absolutely phenomenal in that game. He helped me take down a Treebeard. It's just his ring rule, giving half fight value to opponents. If you buddy him up with Bard, there's nothing Bard can't take down. He's essentially a free transfix, which is guaranteed to work every time. Things aren't really going to charge him. When people hear about his special rule that you need to take a courage test, -1 for every 4 inches, for every 4 inch they are away, then they don't even bother trying to charge him sometimes. They'd rather guarantee a charge in something else. So you pretty much get free reign of Bilbo. And yeah, just buddy him up with your heroes. He's just really good. He's really good. He definitely won me the first game at Canterbury, helping me take down Treebeard. The second game, he less so, but he was around. He's still 3 might, so he just sits there, not being able to be seen, just calling heroic moves, while your bigger heroes, i.e. Bard, Percy, for example, can use their might for what they do best. Is essentially what he's there for. He's just shy of 100 points for a hobbit. For a 1-attack model isn't great, but just for that ring rule, he is worth putting in. So that would be one of my options for the 600 points, either Legolas or, probably more themey wise, will be Bilbo. And people are probably asking about when I put Gandalf in. That probably wouldn't be till I've surpassed the 700, probably 750 point mark. Then I'd think about putting Gandalf in. So yeah, that was Build Me an Army worthy of Survivors of Lake Town, and how well they did. So in summary, it was 4th at Woking. I think the thing that let me down in that tournament was I hadn't quite grasped how killy it was. So I lost Reconnoiter because I broke my opponent too quick, and he'd already got a couple off the board. So underestimating quite how powerful it was, even against like Arbalesters, against Corsair army, even against like Arbalesters that would usually shoot me harder, because the 12 with the rerolls, eventually they're gonna crack through and win the day. So that's what I learnt from that one, is pace the game. The next one I took them to was the Bad Moon, London, where I think I played as well as I could have. Just the sheer amount of numbers won me a couple of the games. So Storm the Camp, I was against All Mounted Rohan, so shooting out the horses, Bard will happily take out Rohan all day long, 2 a turn, or 4 a turn rather, with 3 heroic combats, shooting them down with his great bow, outshoot them is great. Domination against Gondor, just the sheer amount of models, and like I say, Fog of War against the Barrow-wight, where I just spent all my might to get in the lead. Haven't at 600 points. I eventually lost to, so I won the first one, Domination against Dwarves, because Dwarves struggle with domination, so again, sheer amount of numbers. The second game in that tournament was Hold Ground against Orc Scouts, so again, do lots of shooting till they're nearly broken, get everything into the middle, more numbers. It's a numbers thing, you're saying, but it's the thing that's a numbers with really good heroes around them as well, really good special rules that help improve the numbers abilities. The other game in that tournament was Fog of War again, so I've not actually lost a Fog of War with this army before, because the key thing to note is there's so many heroes to pick to keep alive, it's probably not going to be the same one that they pick to try and kill. So even if they do manage to kill the one they want, they're not going to double up with the one that you're trying to keep alive. But to be honest, you can probably keep Alfred, Sigurd and Tilda alive, because they'll just sit behind 3 ranks of dudes with a bard there as well. These two you probably can keep alive, you just keep them more out of combat and let them do their other things, and if Hilda's charging, perhaps keep her near to bard as well. So people are more afraid of going over that way. And I eventually lost to an Easterling army, which had loads of chariots. I rolled poorly and played it poorly, and thought Bard could bite off more, well, he bit off more than he could chew in the end. So Bard, remember, is still defense 5, so if he gets trapped, he probably will die. And then, say the Canterbury run, that I won. There was another one in the middle there that came second. No, it's gone. And the last one just gone was Eastbourne, which I'll do a proper review video of for you soon, so keep an eye out for that. In the meantime, thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, share and subscribe up here if you enjoyed this video, and check out some more down the bottom here. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Until next time.